perpetual trading and leverage trading within the interest rate swap platforms, we can achieve possibly 10,000 capital efficiency. So that is 10 times, 100 times, even 1,000 times more capital efficiency than the previous schemes. So it is very impressive, and it is very, very desired by the traders, because like you want to use the minimal amount of money to swap for the most rates. Yeah. So after talking about why do we need leverage trading in interest rate swaps, we'll discuss how can we achieve such mechanism. There are two different approaches. If I'm going to say, the first approach is to use a third-party platform to add leverage tokens. That is, if we can use leverage the DYDX platform, we can use the DYDX platform and to provide the principal tokens or yield tokens in the element finance of Swivel finance platform. Yes, we can do the leverage interest rate swap, and this can be easily supported because of the composability of the smart contracts and DeFi platforms and DeFi protocols. Yeah, the composability makes it very easy to implement, since you need just to create a new pool and to add some parameters and maybe add some liquidity or to have some orders to make some orders on the platform, and you can trade. Yeah, it's very easy to implement. However, it has the con of like we need to have such reliable support and reliable oracle, and these two things are not very easily implemented for such principal tokens or yield tokens in the interest rate swap platforms, because they are not as popular as the mainly used mainstream tokens such as Bitcoins or USDC or Tether. So the lack of reliable oracle support for such interest rate or stable rate bearing tokens make it very adverse for such mechanisms. And also there are some unique features in the interest rate swap markets that are not fully exploited by using a third-party platform to leverage. Yeah. And an alternative approach for leveraging interest rate swap is to design new protocol. And this is what we are going to talk about today. And it's a very new protocol actually, and it's like on its alpha maybe just 6 months ago, and this is called the Voltz Protocol. It's currently on the mainnet now, and the volume is very impressive, and you can check it out, the Voltz Protocol. So Voltz is a non-custodial automated market maker for interest rate swaps. Voltz uses a concentrated liquidity virtual machine that is called VAIM for price discovery only, with the management of underlying assets performed by the margin engine. Margin engine is basically the pool, and the combined impact of these modules enables counterparties to create and trade fixed and variable rates. So we can trade fixed rate with variable rates directly via this platform. And the pools on the Voltz platform supports up to 3,000 times more capital efficiency than the alternative interest rate swap models, while also providing liquidity providers and traders with significant control and flexibility over their positions. And this is a snapshot of yesterday's Voltz, and you can see that over $4.6 billion of notional traded, and over 11 billion of notional liquidity are provided on this platform. And this volume is very, very massive for such a new protocol that has been online for only 6 months. So behind the success of Voltz Protocol, it must have a very good design and a very good mechanism, and we are going to check it out. So before diving into the detailed implementation of the protocol, there's some basic rules. So I asked myself, if I'm the designer of Voltz, what am I going to think about? So what are the things that I'm going to focus on designing? That is, I want to mimic the perpetual swap protocol. Yes, the perpetual protocol does not succeed without any reason. So I'm going to design a brand new virtual automated market maker, and I'm going to design the liquidation scheme properly that is suitable for interest rate swaps. And I'm going to make the liquidity providing easy and less risky. So also there's different market participants within this protocols that I'm going to take care of. The first and the most importantly is the users. Or we talk about the traders that trade the fixed rates with the variable rates. And also there are liquidators. Liquidators are also very important because it supports the protocol to be correctly executed. And we have the oracle that supports the spot price or the spot rate, the real rate. And also we have the pool managers that fix the parameters, and the parameters are really, really important. And this is the overview on the docs of Voltz. So we have the Voltz user, we have liquidators, and we have the different pools. Yeah, these are the two pools, and we have read oracles, and the factories is basically controlled by the Voltz. Yeah. So I'm going to split the rest of my of this lecture into these three different parts. The virtual automated market maker design, the liquidation mechanism, and the liquidity provider or the liquidity providing that's supported by the Voltz. Okay. So when are we talking about automated market makers? I always want to make a comparison with the other book. So automated market makers are really gas fee saving because you can also always like get the price automatically via a simple math formula. And this is the power of automated market makers and why they are used on DeFi platforms rather than other books. And in other books, you all need to like make orders and so that the takers can make trades with you. And this needs a lot of like proficiency in this area because you need to know how to take orders, how to make orders, and it will make it more confusing for the average traders to understand this whole protocol. So the Voltz naturally selects the market makers when it is designing like how to make the index price within. And also another thing very essential for this whole protocol is that it's using the Uniswap V3 style CFFM. CFFM refers to the constant factor market maker. So yeah, it uses a constant function market maker. The constant product is like x times y equals k, and x is like 1% of fixed tokens and y is variable tokens. Yeah, so the virtual reserves of this CFFM looks like this blue curve. And when I'm talking about the Uniswap V3 style, it is that I can provide liquidity. Although my real reserve is represented by the orange curve, I will like make the entire reserve look like a blue curve. Yeah, this is because the Uniswap V3 style supports supports centralized liquidity. So this centralized liquidity provides potentially 3,000% more capital efficiency than the other market makers protocols. And also, the price within this market maker can be easily calculated. We have that the implied fixed rate is equal to 1 over the ultimate market maker price. Yes, very simple formula. We're talking about the virtual ultimate market maker. So we'll have the next mechanism, which is also important for the design of the entire protocol. That is the liquidation. So the liquidation aren't actually liquidations within the Voltz. This is because the interest rate swap pools are very special. They are not perpetual swap pools. There are some differences. This is because the interest rate swap pools have maturity dates. This can be also discovered in the previous protocols that I talked about, like the Survival Finance Protocol or the Element Finance Protocol. They all have maturity dates. Yes. And however, the perpetual swaps do not have maturity dates. The word perpetual implies this, right? And also, the interest rates are not prices within the perpetual swaps. The average rates are the prices, but the instant rates are not the prices. And this is another thing that is like different about interest rate swap protocols. And because of these two factors, the Voltz designed an alternative liquidation scheme that is called the unwind mechanism. It is called the unwind because when a position needs to be liquidated or has the risk to be liquidated, the trader cannot directly cancel its position and make a trade with the liquidators or make a trade with some other counterparties. It is because the pool has maturity dates. It has to last until the maturity dates for some position, or otherwise the pool will incur some losses, and there are no counterparties for the position to be liquidated, and it does not make sense to end it today right now because some of the other counterparties may not want to end his or her position because he or she may able to like make more profits after this period until the maturity dates. So yes, in order to tackle this problem, the traders may unwind the position when they are near a liquidation call by entering into an opposite side swap with the same amount of the notional. For example, if I have like $100 of positions that may be liquidated in the future, I can unwind my position and to eliminate my risk of being liquidated by entering the same amount of notional in the opposite side. If the fixed rate implied by the virtual automated market maker has not moved since the inception or since the beginning of the interest rate swap contract, and the realized rates were in line with the fixed rates as at the interest rate swap inception, the trader can effectively exit their position with a zero net cash flow. Yes, this trader this entering into opposite side may not necessarily made by the trader, but may also made by a liquidator. However, for the liquidator, there are some risks. If the above conditions do not hold, the liquidator or the trader initiating the unwind will be left with non-zero fixed token exposure. And what I mean by non-zero, it can be negative. So there are some risks for the liquidator to liquidate its position. And the unwind positions may induce the losses. Therefore, the Voltz protocol provides more incentive for liquidators to liquidate different positions and to support the protocol to work, to function normally. Yes, it is like very important. It's more complicated, actually more complicated than the mere liquidation in the perpetual swaps or in the other leverage trading schemes. This is only because of the uniqueness of interest rate swaps. The interest rates are accrued on a continuous basis instead of they suddenly go up or suddenly go down. If the interest rate is like stays around 2% and suddenly spike to 5%, but goes down quickly, it generates almost no influence to the entire average interest rate. So this is very special about this pool and the interest rate swaps. So we have to design such more complicated mechanisms for the liquidation and also for the liquidating providing as well. So for liquidating providing, or we denote as LP. The LP collateral recycling is a very important mechanism or the mechanism designed by the Voltz Protocol. As you can see in this graph, so this graph is actually the price curve for the LP. So if the LP starts at this point A, and no matter what the price moves, no matter if the price moves higher or price moves lower, the LP will always suffer from some losses that we refer to as the impairment loss. I've talked about this in the previous lecture. However, what we call like LP collateral recycling is that the LP cannot effectively exit his or her position till the maturity, or to achieve his or her fees until the maturity. And by in so doing, if a fixed taker initially consumes the liquidity, the LP receives some fees, and afterwards, if some variable takers consumes this liquidity from the same tick range, the LP will receive the fees again. And at this point, the fixed taker and the variable takers positions are netted out. This means that they traded the same amount of notional, the same amount of notional tokens or notional rates, and the LP's margin is released back into the tick range to generate more fee. And also, that is, I may use this graph. If the LP initial price is at the point A, and after some trade it goes to point C, it doesn't matter if the LP suffer from some loss at this point. If eventually at the maturity date or after like at the point where the LP retrieves this discount from this pool, the price goes back to A. If such thing happen, the LP will not suffer from any loss, and he may receive quite a lot fee because the price moves within this range, and the initial price is at A. So the fee is the fee collected by the LP is very good. However, there are always risks. So as it is in the different spot market automated market makers, if the positions are not netted out, the LPs, the liquidated providers suffer from impairment loss. Yes, in the event that the liquidated providers let out is out of the money, the liquidity provider will end up with funding loss, and this risk is almost equivalent to the impairment loss from small market automatic market makers. And you can see by this figure, and this figure is from the light paper in the Voltz Protocol, and the possible LP profit or losses in your pool where the fee rate is 0.3% and the leverage is 12.5 times. The LP possible profit and losses is denoted by this blue plane. Yes. As you can discover, if the interest rate delta is liquidity provider can be up to 300%, yeah, within this pool. If the recycling frequency is per week is very high, it's high enough, yeah. So despite the fact that the LP may suffer from losses, or suffer from increment losses, they still have the incentives to provide funds within this pool, and that's why we discovered that so far over 11 billion of funds, notional funds, liquidity are provided within the Voltz protocol. This is because the potential high yield and relatively smaller risks. Yeah, this is because the collateral recycling that happens within this virtual automated market maker within the Voltz platform. Cool. And these are very cool about the design of Voltz, but still there's some space for improvement, and this is what I'm going to talk about: the future of the design interest rate swap platforms or protocols, no matter it is decentralized or centralized. So there are, as far as I'm concerned, there are 4 major things to think about. The first thing is that the maturity dates, they are unwanted. Yeah, I've talked about it for quite some time in previous lectures and also this lecture. This is because you have to like collect your rewards or collect your losses after this maturity dates. But perpetual swaps are popular. Yeah, we want to make the trades perpetual instead of they have some maturity rates, and we have to like make a new position after this maturity date. Yeah, this is not wanted. So if we can design a protocol without maturity date and make the interest rate swaps perpetual, it should be more popular if nothing else goes wrong. Everything just goes on just fine. The other mechanisms are also proper, and the protocol is perpetual. It should be popular. And also the liquidation tends to unwind, and this introduces more risk for the liquidators. This, I think, yeah, there's another con for the Voltz protocol that I've introduced previously, and also the LP impermanent loss risk. So maybe that is extensively existing within the automated market makers, the AMMs. So as long as you introduce AMM, there will be some possibility of impermanent loss. So if we can swap to other book by using ZK wraps or using the public chains, the layer ones that has fewer fees, fewer gas fees, other books are made possible, and I think other books may be another option to tackle with this problem. And liquidity providers may become like, yeah, the liquidity providers may become the makers within these markets. And finally, it's about the design of this interest rate oracle. Yeah, it is also a very tricky one. As shown in this graph, you can see that the oracle are third party, and within Voltz, they are like maintained by the Voltz of official accounts. I think that they're maintained by bots, and the bots need to like to push the prices or push the rates into the smart contracts from time to time. Yeah, these are first very costly because you need to like store some value into the smart contracts, and this will cost a lot of fee for the platform. And also it is not very precise because actually the interest rates floats every second and maybe every block, but you cannot submit the rates every block because it will be too pricey. And thirdly, I don't think this centralized way to submit the rates are very good for such decentralized protocols. Yeah. So this is another thing to improve in the future. And what we basically want is to make interest rate swaps to be perpetual and less centralized. Yeah. Cool. So, and that's the end of this lecture. And this is my email, Telegram, WeChat, and you can find the recordings of this lecture online, shared by Dora Hacks later, Dora Dōjō later. Sorry. Please feel free to reach out if you have questions or need to discuss something about Web3 with me. You're always welcome. Lastly, I'm going to introduce the Dora Dōjō bounty. The Dora Dōjō will release bounties according to community proposals, and please join the Telegram channel to get informed. Yes, and also please join Dora Dōjō for more tech talks. And this is the official Chinese group, and this is the Dora Dōjō Telegram. Sure, this is the end of this lecture, and thank you very much.